Now, at Dubai Airport, the world's busiest by international passenger traffic, says there is room for confidence despite global economic headwinds. It's hopeful for a full recovery next year after a robust 2022, thanks in part to the World Cup. Well, I spoke with Dubai Airports CEO Paul Griffiths, who joined us from Riyadh on the sidelines of the World Travel and Tourism Council Global Summit.
Well, what we've seen actually is how remarkably robust and resistant to inflationary measures travel has been over the years. It's not like it was a few decades ago where travel actually mirrored GDP. What we're seeing now is GDP growth slowing, but actually the projections for the growth of travel for next year are going to be something like double the GDP growth projections. So overall, I think we should remain cautiously optimistic. We are in a little bit of a bubble at the moment because so many aircraft have been grounded post-pandemic, and as they replace fleets and capacity increases, the demand-supply imbalance, which we're currently seeing, may correct itself. But overall, I think there's room for confidence despite the economic situation.
And when you say, we're staying cautiously optimistic, what are some of the headwinds that the aviation industry is bracing for?
Well, there are so many headwinds that aviation has always faced for many years, and obviously strong oil prices, economic recession. The COVID-19 pandemic, of course, is still very much an issue. In China and the Far East, we're seeing other economies, the effects of the Ukraine-Russian war, that obviously are all of those things are factors which are headwinds that we're facing. But overall, I think demand has never been stronger than we've seen over the last few months. Transfer traffic through DXB, we've got a little bit of headroom to regain, but overall, I think things are looking pretty good.
Yeah, and you said that you expect a strong showing for Q4. How big a contributor was the World Cup? And, World Cup aside, is DXB able to repeat such results?
Well, the World Cup has been a tremendous boom for Dubai because, of course, a lot of people are choosing to take in a trip to Dubai as one of the focuses of their attendance at the World Cup. We've actually got something like 120 flights a day in both directions at our new airport, Dubai World Central, taking place between Doha and DWC. And actually, we're forecasting before the end of Q4, between October and December this year, something like 494,000 incremental passengers flowing through DWC.
Mr. Griffiths, just picking up on something that was mentioned earlier, the price, oil prices. What is your forecast on the price of crude oil and jet fuel over the next 12 months?
It's difficult to say because obviously we've seen huge volatility, and I think oil prices are very much dependent on not just the economic situation of the world, but of course, the political volatility that we've seen. That's why energy prices overall, not just oil, but gas and electricity, have been so difficult to predict. And a lot of people, of course, are facing considerable hardship because of the volatility of energy prices generally. But of course, oil prices do affect airlines pretty directly because the largest single cost for them is the fuel they put in their aircraft. So that will have an impact on the economics of travel, that's for sure.